Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Mary Christensen, the Director of Product Marketing here at BillingPlatform, and we're happy to have you with us as we dig into the importance of a centralized product catalog. With me today is Ty Jessup, one of our senior solution consultants. Ty has over 20 years of experience as a solution consultant across several different industries with a primary focus in finance and accounting. Throughout his career, Ty has had multiple roles, including a user, system administrator, solution engineer, and consultant, all which allows him to bring a unique perspective when it comes to designing solutions. Ty is always up for a challenge and really enjoys helping to improve the work-life efficiencies of his clients. Thanks for being with us today, Ty.
Thank you, Mary.
So before I turn it over to Ty, I wanted to spend just a few minutes setting the stage on why this topic is so important. First and foremost, the product catalog is at the heart of your front and back office ecosystems. It touches and drives everything that relates to what is sold, how it's sold, and ultimately how it's promoted, discounted, delivered, supported, and accounted for. At its most basic, the product catalog is a list of products or services with prices. However, it's so important for today's SaaS and e-commerce organizations to have a product catalog that's flexible enough to support both one-time, subscription, and usage-based products. This requires many more components than just product name and price. Having a centralized product catalog can deliver some significant benefits, some of which aren't obvious at the outset, but later prove to be invaluable to the business. First is innovation. In order to compete in today's digital marketplace, companies are selling hundreds, if not thousands, of products and product variations. They must be able to rapidly design, sell, launch, and scale solutions and constantly manage dynamic promotions and incentives to stay ahead of the competition and meet the needs of an increasingly demanding user base. This must all be built and managed in the product catalog, and when done right, the product catalog can be the cornerstone of innovation, enabling you to tailor new services to particular customer segments. Next is organizational unification. To effectively run a dynamic business in the digital world, everyone must be on the same page within the organization. This extends from the product team to marketing to sales and to finance. Each organizational unit should be drawing from the same product catalog. Starting here eliminates product launch delays, lowers unnecessary cost, and improves the customer experience, leading to a faster time to market with new services. And then there's the ability to simplify the product lifecycle management. A centralized product catalog will make it easy to create, copy, test, approve, and version products and services. This also helps with standardizing operational workflows and business rules, centralizing product management processes, and combining existing catalogs into a single view. This is especially true for companies that may be going through a merger or an acquisition. Combining products from an acquired company into a single product catalog goes a long way to smooth the integration process. That said, if you don't have a centralized product catalog, you're probably managing products out of multiple catalogs, which brings a variety of disadvantages. First is that you're spending a lot of time and effort at the product definition stage, making similar configurations instead of reusing existing ones. Second, you're inviting complicated maintenance of your product data. Managing existing product data and reconciling of that data between products and systems becomes complex, leading to increased effort on staff. And finally, there's no consistent product performance data available. It may be difficult to get an overview of the products defined in different systems. To analyze the overall product portfolio, your product managers may need to access data in multiple systems, which takes more time and becomes a reporting nightmare. So Ty, can you talk a little bit about what you've seen and heard in the market and why using a centralized product catalog is so important?
Sure, Mary. Let me go ahead and get started here. Okay. So as you mentioned, Mary, right, one of the core foundational elements of any billing solution really is that product catalog. And a centralized product catalog is essential for monetizing subscription and usage-based pricing models. When evaluating various solutions, one of the key requirements should be the integration. Does the solution have the integration with market-leading CRMs like Salesforce? And also, how robust and easy to use are the APIs? So BillingPlatform has actually a native integration with Salesforce via a marketplace certified and productized connector. This can perform a bidirectional sync with the data, so the ability to be able to pull the data or push the data, either on demand or based on a schedule. In addition to that, the entire billing platform is built on top of easy-to-use SOAP and REST APIs. And that really allows for integration with any CRM, GL, or ERP. As you mentioned, there may be multiple sources of data that we need to bring in, and that's something that the billing solution should be able to do easily, combining data from multiple sources into a centralized product catalog. Additional key considerations when it comes to the product catalog really is the flexibility and the configuration options. And really that's the theme of what we're going to be talking about for the rest of this session. It's the flexibility and those different options you have when it comes to configuring the solution. So for example, BillingPlatform has 14 default rating methods out of the box, and they're organized into these 5 different groups: metered, recurring, discounts and trials, surcharges and fees, and formula-based methods. So let's review a few of these key methods. One of the key and unique differentiators of BillingPlatform is that we have usage processing and mediation capability built into the platform. Our usage-based product actually allows you to collect any consumption or usage-based data, so anything that is metric-based that we're going to be rating. So that could be megabytes, that can be time, it can be number of minutes, it can be the number of connections, really anything, right? That's kind of tied to usage. We have the ability to be able to bring that in, and we can monetize that. So our mediation engine has the capability also to be able to consolidate. You mentioned, bringing data in from multiple places and also consolidating that usage data together. We also can deduplicate and route the data as well. So this provides you with the capability to be able to take raw data and turn it into billable events. You'll also notice that we've got a one-time charge product. So this would cover items such as setup fees, implementation fees, hardware, really any event that can be classified as a one-time charge. And then under the recurring group, you'll see subscriptions. So being able to have subscriptions that can include really anything that's naturally recurring. Right? That could be internet, could be data, voice, streaming subscriptions, etc. We have discounts and trials, also late fees, per invoice fees, and also a revenue commitment product. And this actually typically goes hand in hand with usage. So for example, you may set a revenue commitment for a customer at, let's say, $2,000 a month, and that could be related to usage components. During the month, they only use, let's say, $1,800. So we're going to automatically plug the difference and charge them with the full $2,000 for that minimum commitment. So again, just an example of that flexibility you can have when you're actually configuring some of these rating methods. All right. And so when working with our customers, we really find that 80 to 90% of the use cases they have are covered in one of these 4 categories that you see here on the screen. Right? But there's always those outliers, right? Always those exceptions, always something that doesn't conform to the norm. And believe it or not, today we actually come across many organizations that are still relying on being able to pull data into Excel. And Excel is a great tool, so we're not here to bash Excel. But and they'll figure out the rating methods they need to do and how to charge the customer, and then key that into their billing system. So to help alleviate this, we have a formula capability that's built into the platform. And we also have a formula product. So the formula product can actually be used on any of the other rating methods that are listed here as well. And this really allows us to get to 100% coverage of our customers' use cases, and by being able to provide them with that flexibility and the capability to be able to handle anything that they may need to do as they expand their business. Again, not only the solutions and the use cases they have today, but also to be able to future-proof the solution and allow them to have that flexibility to design something that they might encounter in the future. Okay. So when selecting a rating method, So the attributes are really important when you're looking at that information and being able to have that type of flexibility in your product catalog. We'll just take a look at some of those examples here actually in the billing platform and take a look at that. So for example, when you create a new rating method here, and creating a new product, you can select one of the key attributes is the rating method. So being able to select that, you then see the screen will dynamically change. And now I have options to be able to select one of the rating methods from the 5 different groups that we just reviewed earlier. Right? So for example, if I select subscription, you'll see, once again, the interface will dynamically change. And now we have different options based on that subscription rating method. So for example, what's the subscription cycle? So is it monthly? Is it weekly, daily? Could be quarterly, maybe yearly. So different options there. Also being able to synchronize the cycle context. So is that something that syncs with the billing cycle, or is that something that syncs with the service start date? And this typically also goes hand in hand with proration. So that's also another key item to look for that would provide you with flexibility. The ability to be able to prorate your subscription charges, whether that's on activation, on termination, it might be for all options that you have here, or you might decide to not prorate at all. So being able to have those options there available to you. Also, is the model going to be prepaid or is it postpaid? So different options there as you have that choice. And then you do see also the option here with linked overage products. So again, this goes hand in hand where you might have subscription. It also might be tied to usage products that might have an included quantity. So for example, you might have 500, 1,000, 2,000 units that might be included in that subscription. And you want to be able to charge automatically if they go above that particular included quantity. And so this gives you the ability to be able to do that and keep track of that usage. So scrolling down, another key element is really the rate setup and that ability to be able to specify a default rate and also specify the pricing type. So is this something that's going to be a standard pricing item, or is it going to be tiered? For this example, I just want to show you some of the flexible options you have here by being able to use tiered pricing, okay? So with the tier pricing, you've got different rates that you could utilize, and you have the ability to be able to set that up, again, part of the flexibility of the platform. Do I want to have the tier rate apply in bulk? Do I want it to be maybe an incremental or in block? Okay, so incremental is one of the most popular that we see. It really allows you to be able to apply the rate for the usage, and you can allocate that to each tier respectively. Let's go ahead and set up that example here real quick just to show you what that looks like. So again, I'm going to select the incremental tier. I'm also going to specify the default rate here. Okay, and now I've got different options to be able to build that rate and be able to set that up. So here I'm going to just select, let's say, 3 different rates. We'll select here in 3 different tiers. We have the ability to be able to support multiple currencies. Also, BillingPlatform happens to also support multiple languages out of the box. So 2 benefits there. Let's select and just set up 3, let's say, US dollar rates here. So we could say maybe the first band would go up to 1,000 units, and that might be charged at, let's say, $200. If they go 1,001 and above, up to 1,500, let's say that would be charged at $175. And then by default, anything over 1,501 and above, so going all the way out there, that might get charged at, let's say, $150. Okay, so there's the tier you would be able to set up with the different rates, and you can have, again, as many rates as you need to support the different tiering options. You'll also notice the standalone selling price. So revenue recognition is another capability that's built into the billing platform, allowing you to do that. Many of our customers might use an external CPQ solution, but some will actually use our solution as well to be able to calculate the different selling prices and the revenue recognition there as well. So different options there.
So hey, Ty, with all this flexibility, can you explain how we're able to prevent the product catalog from exploding and becoming unmanageable?
Yeah, that's a really good question, Mary. And we often get that question in terms of that. There's several different ways that we can do that we can use to be able to handle that and prevent that proliferation. One of them is to be able to set up different rate classes. And so this really allows you to be able to manage rates in another way. You can define prices for your products and entities that might share the same rate classes. So you don't have to create separate products. You can actually manage those via a rate class here. Okay. And so it really does give you more flexibility there, where you can create different rate plans for different types of customers, different rates for different uses, et cetera. And you can also use the rates if you wanted to in the with the contracts. So that could be something that's specified at the contract and specific to each customer. Okay. So even though there's a default rate that's established, you still have the opportunity to override that at various points as you provision certain products and services. Okay. And another way that we can actually prevent that proliferation is the ability to be able to handle and do bundles, right? So being able to manage different packages. The solution provides you with package management here out of the box. And that really just allows you to be able to create a collection of maybe individual products. And so this is typically done as you're bundling products, and we're defining maybe some customized pricing structures. And we want to be able to include these bundles and allow them to have different pricing versus something that where the components are sold individually. Okay? So different options that we have there. And also the last thing I'll mention is the upgrade downgrade management. So if we scroll down to the bottom, you'll actually see where this is selected. So that ability to have an upgrade or downgrade path, so automatically you can allow products to be upgraded to the next tier of service, or if it's a trial or something like that, it might have a downgrade if they don't opt to move forward. So different options provide you with different capabilities there. But all three of those really kind of combine to help us to prevent that type of SKU proliferation that can typically take place in some other solutions that might not be as flexible as the billing platform. Okay. So as I mentioned, the entire solution is built on top of SOAP and REST APIs, and it's a metadata-driven platform as well. So very, very user-friendly in terms of the different elements that you can control, and also the different elements that you can provide here. And again, that's something key that you're looking for when you're actually looking for a product catalog there. So I know we had a limited amount of time today. We just barely scratched the surface, right? In terms of some of the things that we can show you. At the end of the session, you'll see our contact information. So please get in touch with us if you want to learn more. We'll be happy to share more details with you. And Mary, I'll turn it back over to you.
Great. Thank you, Ty. That was a great overview of the solution. Appreciate that. But to bring it all together, I want to spend just another minute building on some of the capabilities that Ty mentioned and talk to you about the value of a single solution and what that offers. So to do that successfully, it's important to optimize the entire revenue management process so you can accurately monetize the products and services that your company's selling. We see the revenue management process including 5 pillars, starting with the ability to configure and sell your products. This all stems from the product catalog, as Ty mentioned, defining all the commercial product information so that your sales team can easily configure quotes for customers. Then those products flow into billing and invoicing, where you must be able to manage customer accounts and process orders for subscription and usage products. Next, those products and services need to be accurately recognized by your finance team. Having them involved in the beginning brings that organizational unity I mentioned earlier, so that there are no surprises as products flow through the billing solution. And when you're able to allow customers to pay for the products and then have the tools to be able to proactively collect delinquent accounts, you really can round out that process. And then you start all over again with nurturing and growing your business. All this is underpinned by our extensible platform that Ty mentioned. And that provides the flexibility for enterprises to meet their exact business requirements so that they're in control of how they differentiate in the market, maximize profitability, reduce operational costs, and improve the customer experience. So as Ty mentioned, we really only scratched the surface on the benefits that a centralized product catalog can bring to your business. So if you're interested in learning more, please feel free to contact us for a free consulting session. And with that, thanks for joining us today. And if you have any questions, we'd love to hear from you. So please reach out. Thanks again, and we hope to see you in a future session.